always got two sides, yeah, you know it's true. One side swinging wild with FUD, tearing down the view. Slander echoes loud, like thunder in the night, while the builders grind in silence, chasing that faint light. Critics steal the stage, their voices cut so deep. Through the endless build, they make the doubters weep. But in the dark, we move like ghosts, no spotlight on our game. Playing chess with shadows, calling out our name. No quick wins to hush the storm, no easy road ahead. Versions rise and fall like waves, leaving dreams half dead. Patience stretched to breaking, resolve forged in the fire. Pivots in the chaos, lifting us still higher. Oh, we hold the line through the roar and the rain. Persistence is our weapon, breaking every chain. When the breakthrough crashes in, like a dawn we can't deny, they'll whisper lucky strike, but we know the truth inside. Small pieces fall in place, rewrite the tale we chase. From the ashes of the doubt, we rise, we claim our space. Believe in the unseen, let the story unfold. Builders never break, we're the heart of gold. They won't hand you medals for the night you bled alone, for the quiet wars you waged on a throne made of stone. No applause for the grind, the sweat and the unseen, just the weight of the world and a fire within the dream. But watch the narrative shift when the stars align at last. Dozens of threads we wove for the shadows of the past, proving we were right through the storm, we never fled. The doubters fade to whispers and the future's ours instead. It takes time, oh it takes time to carve out what we see. Through the pivots and the falls, we find our destiny. Community on edge, but we trust the long arcs bend. In the heart of every builder, the spark will never end. Oh, we hold the line through the roar and the rain. Persistence is our weapon, breaking every chain. When the breakthrough crashes in, like a dawn we can't deny, they'll whisper lucky strike, but we know the truth inside. Small pieces fall in place, rewrite the tale we chase. From the ashes of the doubt we rise, we claim our space. Believe in the unseen, let the story unfold. Builders never break, we're the heart of gold. Sometimes you gotta trust the quiet, let the chaos fade away. No need to scream your vision, just build it day by day. The critic spotlight flickers, but our fire burns eternal. In the dark we find our power, unbreakable, infernal. Yeah, believe, just believe, and watch the world remain. We hold the line through the roar and the rain. Through the rain, persistence is our anthem, breaking every chain. Breaking every chain. When the breakthrough crashes in, like a dawn we can't deny. They'll whisper lucky strike, but we know the truth inside. Small pieces fall in place, rewrite the tale we chase. From the ashes of the doubt we rise, we claim our space. Believe in the unseen, let the story unfold. Builders never break, we're the heart of gold. We're the heart of gold.
What's up, guys, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 35, COTI Confidential, October 5th, 2025. What's up, Soeren, man? How's it going?
Yeah, it's going well, mate. Good to have you back on the show and good to be back on video.
Good to be here. I have my mug. I'm ready to go.
Oh, lovely. Love to see that. I'm wearing
All the way.
I'm wearing my special t-shirt today to compliment your mark.
Me too.
You all don't know. Yeah, no, you're wearing a COTI shirt, so am I, but most people don't know that yet. So
Oh, yeah.
It's been a crazy week as always. How's your week been, mate?
The weather's been really weird here. So usually at this time of year, I'm picking my projects, but right now I'm still doing like contract maintenance, so everything's upside down, and it's been raining for almost 24 hours. The ditches are full. It's but good. I'm good. COTI Earn is here. I'm sure we're going to talk about that later. I'll have a screen share up for that. But yeah, are you ready to go? Let's do the weekly update, man.
Yeah, let's do the weekly update. It's a slightly different one this week. It's got some of the same components, but I also thought we would do a little bit of a journey of the mind, as I call it. I've seen a lot of comments from people, and quite frankly, a lot of misinformed comments about what COTI is doing at a grassroots level. So I thought I'd take a little bit of time out to explain what it is we're trying to build. It goes under the motto of onboarding the next 100 million developers. And whilst that sounds like a fancy slogan, it's actually anything but a serious. It's a very serious enterprise. So what we're doing with this is we're teaching people how to vibe code. That's the sort of easy part. Then we have developers. We have YouTube instruction videos for the much harder bits. So if you want to launch a dApp on the blockchain, you could probably get, I don't know, I used to think it was about 60% you could vibe code. It may actually be a little bit less. These things are developing all the time, but you can vibe code your way to a bit, but you'll definitely need developers' help to do the rest. So this is what COTI is trying to do, and it's very much a work in progress. But I wanted to illustrate how we are building this, and what can happen and what the potential is if we do it right. So we're currently doing, and this is just math, this is just numbers that I'm playing with, yeah? We're currently doing 4 in-person vibe coding events in Bangkok per month. A couple of months ago, there were probably 10 or 15 people. Now they're oversubscribed. We're squeezing about 50 people in for each event, and we could let in more if we had the space. So that's 200 people per month getting introduced to COTI, getting introduced to vibe coding, getting introduced to privacy on chain, getting introduced to all sorts of stuff. Now, try and multiply that by 10. Thailand is much more than just Bangkok. So now you're at about 2,000 people per month doing all the same things. Now, take that and multiply by 10, because Southeast Asia, where this is focused right now, this is Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, etc. We're now at 20,000 people per month. So let's multiply that by 20, because Southeast Asia is just the beginning. Once you have a blueprint for these things in place, you can copy paste it anywhere you like. North America, South America, Europe, where I am, Central Asia, you can do it in all sorts of places. That's 400,000 people per month, equals 4.8 million people per year. And I know people are going to read this, and I'm sure a lot already has, and said, Soeren, he's lost whatever was left of his brain. Too much blockchain for the young man. But that's what this is all about. And of course, I completely understand people are going to be skeptical of this. And we're in the very early stages, and there's no guarantee for success in any of these things, but we're off to a very good start with it. But it's got to be built. That takes time. It's got to be paid for. It won't be easy, and it'll require a little bit of time. But if you don't start somewhere, you ain't gonna get there. That's for sure. But just to play a little bit more with the numbers, just imagine that 1% of the people attending our events currently end up deploying one dApp. 1% employ a dApp on our mainnet. Yeah, that's 24 dApps per year included in our ecosystem. and soon to be thousands if we continue to build this out. Yeah, but it's something a little bit more important as well. It's 24 entrepreneurs who were empowered to chase their dreams thanks to us. 24 projects with a decent chance of making enough money to pay themselves and adding some staff. And if you're an entrepreneur, this is what it's all about. You want to build a business. You want to take a few steps up the ladder. And I don't know, people have been in Southeast Asia, you know, $500, $1,000, if you can make that per month, that goes quite a long way. So we're not talking about huge sums of money, but it's people being empowered. And so I think the general direction of travel that I've just explained here is quite clear. So it's Stay COTI, it's pop-up cities, it's boot camps, it's academies, it's all sorts of things, and everything will eventually gel into a much bigger picture. So I thought I would just clarify this because you know, I'm getting comments all the time. You know, how can people take COTI serious when they're doing all these things? You know, this is the grassroots side of it. We have a grassroots side of the business, which is this. We have an institutional side of the business, which is what the likes of Shahaf and Joshua and the boys from Soda Labs, they're doing the institutional side. Yeah, and somewhere in the middle, you got the ambassador core, and we are doing all the small and medium-sized blockchain/Web3 projects, trying to get them into our ecosystem. And all of these prongs of building and developing, they got one thing in common. It's their mission to make COTI something amazing and unique. And clearly, as I've just explained, we all have our role to play. So I thought I would just try and outline this a little bit. You know, the haters are still going to hate, the fudders are still going to fud, and that's fine. But I think it's important that people understand where it is we're trying to go with this. Yeah, you can be a serious institutional player and at the same time have a retail outlook. You can have a retail part of what you're doing, and you can have an institutional part of what you're doing. Yeah, the institutions are not fighting daily battles on Twitter or scouring over our webpage to see if we're using the right funds or this or that. Yeah, the institutions are very simple-minded creatures. They have a spec and they have a budget. And if you qualify on both counts, you'll have a chance. Yeah, if you don't, you have no chance. So it's very simple and also very complicated. Anyways, back to regular business. The biggest event of the week, which we're going to talk a lot about today, is COTI Earn, our loyalty platform where you can earn rewards simply by engaging with our ecosystem and promoting COTI, the project. It's a very unique concept, and I've seen a lot of positive comments about this already. Extremely well received by the community at large and also by people from outside of the community. I think, just a ballpark figure here, but I think our socials this week, just this week after COTI Earn, probably done a 5x or 10x because people can now engage, earn points by automatically getting something posted on X or on Telegram. All right, so I think Tracy has got a bit of a power outage right now. Anyways, I'll keep going. Yeah, so and as we build out, you know, one of the big advantages of COTI Earn is that as we build this out, it'll be a great way to shine a spotlight on our business, the people who built on COTI, their projects, as well as rewarding our very loyal community for their efforts. I'm hoping I'm still live. Time will tell. In fact, before I continue, let me just check if I'm still live. Nice. We will continue. We also had a couple of table events this week. The table events are from as I explained before, that's the institutional arm of COTI. We had one in Bangkok and one in Singapore, inviting the absolute top of the top, the cream of the cream, people from. Hold on. Sorry, I'm getting distracted a little bit with this power outage. Yeah, so this is where we invite the people, the top people, the decision makers, the influencers from finance, from banking, real world assets, politics, and tech to discuss the future essentially of digital finance, obviously with a focus on the sort of things that we can offer, but as a part of a wider discussion. And these are excellent opportunities to sit in a small room with some very powerful people and have substantive discussions, whilst at the same time putting COTI and privacy in Web3 firmly on the map. Participants on these last two meetings that we had this week were players like Bank of Thailand, SCBX, Google, Solana, Animoca, and Centrifuge, plus many more. Yeah, and that was just this week alone, 2 events. We also announced a partnership with Landsteller.ai, which is basically a startup out of Africa, aiming to advance RWA adoption and enabling illiquid assets to be used as DeFi collateral. So it's a very interesting concept, still in the very, very early days, but it'd be important or interesting to follow them. But I think personally it's another important RWA DeFi use case that we've onboarded for our network. Last but not least, good news from the guys Jan and Rix at Crafter. They announced that they're close to launching the NFT trading place, and this is extremely exciting for a whole bunch of reasons. We have a lot of great NFT projects, and but they all been missing a place to trade the NFTs and sort of try to monetize the work that they're so passionate about. So that'd be great. But it is also important to have a place, because we will soon need to be able to trade node licenses. We need to be able to trade RWA, that real world assets going on chain, because most of that's going to be, when you talk about tokenizing things and putting them on chain, especially real world assets, NFT could be the route that many of these things take. And I know that I know Jan in particular and Rix as well. What they built so far has been absolutely spotless. It's probably the smoothest NFT minting experience that I've ever had. So I have no doubts at all that the trading place is going to be an equally smooth experience. So I think we can all look forward to this. I can pretty much guarantee that they got something very special lined up for us. So that was the update for this week. And yeah, Tracer is still on a power update, I can see. So he's the one that runs all of this, so I can't take any questions from you. Actually, yes, you guys can. Maybe he's come back now. You're back, mate.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you and I can hear you.
So yeah, you know how I said it's been raining for, however long. I was going to say to you today, wouldn't it be funny if we had a power outage and the power is still out here? It doesn't happen very often at all here. So I'm
Right.
navigating now from mobile.
Good. Good that we're back. What was I live throughout? Because I kept doing the update, but I wasn't sure I was live.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
You're still live. It was still going, I believe.
That's the
Steph
first one we
says I
had.
can't see or hear you.
No, but this is the first one we've had, so yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that in our stride as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to manipulate the stream here, but I don't know how well it's gonna work. So let's see. Anyways, continue, sir.
Yeah, I can see you and I can hear you.
There we go. Hi.
Uh,
All right. Please continue.
Yeah, no, so I've been through the update. I've gone through all of that. Obviously, I don't know if we're able to take questions. If people got anything they want to ask us. You're the master. You're the master of the controls for that. I think
I won't be able to do
we
anything
will
from
wait for your
mobile right
power
now.
to.
So
Yeah, because I think we'll wait for your power to come back before we can do what we wanted to do with COTI Earn. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But wow, I'm rattled now. I don't even know what to say. I was kind of, I want to say I wasn't expecting that, but I almost was. So it doesn't happen very often here. So anyways, yeah, I won't, I think if you tried to do a screen share, however, I would be able to approve your screen share and you could show us COTI Earn if you wanted to play with that.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to talk me through it.
Well, then let's not do that because that's not going to be any fun for anybody.
Right, I got.
Embarrassing.
Now I can see the. I can see the question. I can see the questions here. Tracer shaved bullish. Is that from today?
Where is that? No, it can't be.
It's gotta be an old one because you didn't shave.
Yeah, you're looking at old stuff there.
Yeah, Eli,
It's
Canada,
dark,
hashtag 51. I can't possibly fathom what he's on about. Oh, I can actually.
Yeah. He's always giving me crap for this. I guess we're one step closer, right? So yeah, I can't access anything right now. So
No, it's fine.
But
There are no questions. But let me hear your thoughts on COTI Earn. What were your first thoughts when you saw it?
it's funny, I didn't really. Its comments are so small on my screen, I can't even see that. But it says something Tracer, so I'm scared. I really didn't know too much what to expect until we got lucky. We got shared a little bit of an abstract before it went live. We were able to test it and stuff. I look at season 1 and I think, okay, this is definitely an introductory season. The tasks are pretty, other than the staking tasks, it's pretty light. I think it's more of like a test season. I'm interested to see what's involved for season 2. I think a lot of it is just getting people on the platform, linking their socials and stuff. So I think it's a great initiative. I'm interested to see what comes in the second season. I think I don't know if I'm right in this, but I think that's where we're going to see hopefully more creators tasks, because like for me, I'm already staking everything I got, really, right? So for me, it's I'm a bit biased, but I'm always looking at more creators tasks. So I think we'll see that in the next seasons to come. But other than that, I'm excited about it, and I hope that we can bring new people into our ecosystem in a safe place rather than some of the places that they get, drawn to by malicious actors.
Yeah.
Didn't you pay your electricity bill? Actually, I don't know when the last time I paid is. No. Yeah, no. Yes, it's easy to pay electricity bill in Canada during the summer, but you're like electric and gas bills in the winter where I am, that's the ones that you don't want to pay. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's very interesting because as we were doing the testing pre-launch, it was one of the questions that I had too. Where's the stuff for the creators? And basically the answer that I got was yes, there's going to be loads of that, but it's much, much harder to weave it into the platform. Because already these things are going all sorts of different places in terms of the different platforms that you interact with, the different apps that you're interacting with. So definitely there should be more coming in season 2. Yeah, I would like to see people get rewarded for doing short movies, NFT collections, things like that, all sorts of creative stuff. And because we got loads of people in our community that are actually super creative and are just looking for opportunities like that. And I'm all in on getting them rewarded for all the hours that they put into this. So I think that'd be great.
I know that you and I have been saying for a long time that we need more video content from our community and beyond. Everybody's talking about KOLs right now, but I don't know if I'm speaking for you, Soren, but for me, it's like I love when you see the community making videos, and it's funny now. I think that since AI has become so powerful for social tooling, you see a lot of the same things over and over again because it's aggregated from LLMs, right? So what we saw like about 6 months ago is we had people making videos, but it was mostly aggregated from old data, right? So we heard a lot about the DAG and payments. Now it's starting to be updated depending on which LLM you're using, and if you're using, free-based system or something that's, more up to date. But when you get a community member or somebody who's been following and knows what's going on, it's interesting. You get different perspectives from people, and a lot of them come from you and Eli and Mark, and there's been a bunch of people lately who have kind of shared their opinions. And it's always funny that I think that now, and I say this all the time, but you like to use the term casting a wider net, right? And so when you look at enterprise payments and now you look at the unlimited potential with COTI, every person who brings new videos and new perspectives, there's also new use cases that you're, kind of just realizing that are out there as an opportunity for somebody to be building on V2, especially with the tools that you're talking about with all the vibe coding sessions and stuff. And I know a lot of people, there's a lot of people have a really bad opinion of vibe coding. But whenever there's something that's kind of groundbreaking like that, there's a lot of people who hate it, especially people who think that, especially people who have spent their lives learning how to code and stuff, see it as a threat. I will agree that, especially for Web3, the tools aren't there yet. So the way I like to look at vibe coding, and I think the way, if you don't like it, but you want to kind of find a way to be positive about it, is you can look at vibe coding as a way to for one person to bring their proof of concept to market. And I think that's kind of the whole point, right, with vibe coding, where why are we spending all this time with vibe coders? It gives people who have great ideas but don't have the resources, tools, or skills to be able to bring that to market. So now, and if you look at stay.coti.io, at the bottom there's, you can try to get some support for your idea. If you put all those pieces together, it does really make sense. I know there's people that don't like vibe coding, they call it slop and everything else like that. I can understand that, but if you look at it as a proof of, I think, did I just disconnect there? Because I lost everything. So I'm going to let you talk for a minute.
Yeah, no, I mean, you touched about on so many different things. I think it's important that we go back and keep this whole. We got a retail side of things, and we got a not constitutional, but institutional side of things, and we can easily do both at the same time. Why not? Yeah, and you're absolutely right in your points about vibe coding. It is still very early days, but if you recall, when was that? A year and a half ago? Do you remember the kitchen video or the cooking video that Unity made? But Unity made some excellent videos, and I don't think he used AI at all on this. Imagine what a guy like that can do once he gets access to AI. So no, I think it's great, and I think what people also misunderstand is that a lot of these vibe coding projects that people do in Bangkok, as where we are arranging these now, these are a lot of local initiatives, and they might find themselves on chain on COTI's mainnet, and you may never even know that they're there. Yeah. They will bring in a bit of daily transaction volume, but these are strictly local initiatives that doesn't need our participation, doesn't need us to say it's good or bad, or we like it or we don't like it. Doesn't matter, because a lot of this is local. A lot of these are local initiatives, and I think that's what it's all about. And at the same time, we can do our institutional stuff. Institutions don't care about any of this. Yeah, they have a job that needs to be done, and if you can do the job, great. And if you can't, see ya. Yeah, that's the brutal world of dealing with institutions. You can either give them what they need, or you can't. Yeah, and some people say that they're not going to take us serious. Well, I don't even know how to start to explain this in any other way, but constitutions got no ideas about any of this. They don't care. Yeah, they don't sit on Twitter all day long. They don't have Telegram groups. They're quite busy with real world issues, and they have very different battles to fight. So
I don't know if you
no,
saw me. I don't know if you
yeah,
saw
go
me
on.
popping in and out of there, but I didn't have audio, so I didn't hear anything you said. And right before we went live today, I wished that I had reached out to Joshua, because he shared a bit of an interesting statistic with us in the ambassadors group. And then I had a meeting with him not too long ago, and he brought it up again, and there's a reason for this. So these numbers are skewed. They're not exact, but use them as a bit of a guide to why are we building an office in Bangkok? Did you talk about any at this at all before I step all over you?
No. But I remember the
Okay.
argument, and I look forward to hearing you weave your way through that one. It's good.
Well, the numbers. So I'm going to correct the numbers, but you'll get the point. Joshua said, he was telling us, you might wonder why we're using Bangkok as our hub. And he had a really good point saying that, again, the numbers, guys, but he said Bangkok is a 2-hour flight from, I think, 20% of the world's population. Then he goes on to say it's a 4-hour flight from either 40 or 50% of the world's population.
50%.
So that was one of the reasons. It was, wasn't it? Yeah. 4-hour flight. So, and then I was talking to him about other things, and he reminded me that it's not only that, it's that the flights from Bangkok are cheap, so that they can really proliferate this with the team they have on the ground at the state COTI offices, and start putting these events on in person all over Southeast Asia. So if you wonder why Bangkok, that's one of the reasons. And anybody who's been there, yes, Soeren and I were lucky enough to go. It's cheap, it's incredible and really fun.
Yeah.
So.
One of the things you touched upon also was this, whether we should be using calls or not calls. Key opinion leaders. And to be honest, I see absolutely no point at all in using key opinion leaders. Yeah. The things that we're chasing. Yeah. So we are chasing banks, we're chasing hedge funds, we're chasing private offices, we're chasing conglomerates, so Shahaf and Joshua are killing themselves trying to chase the big boys, yeah? The key opinion leaders have got no impact on any of that whatsoever. Yeah? And if we land 1, 2, 3, 4 big accounts, people are going to get the price action they want. And again, no key opinion leaders needed. Yeah? So what do you need key opinion leaders for? You need them to attract retail. Yes, that's the Stay COTI initiative. Yeah. Within a
How big
4-hour
is the
flight,
brim on
within a
this hat?
4-hour flight of 4 billion pieces of retail, 4 billion human beings retail. What more do you want? Yeah. And for people who fake this, yeah, I would very much, you mentioned Joshua, go and look at Joshua's biography and go and look at what he did before Provenance. Go and look what he did for education in I think also was in Southeast Asia. Hundreds of thousands of kids from a program that he was a part of building up from scratch, that eventually took care or got university education for hundreds of thousands of kids. So for those of you who fake this, fine, you're entitled to have your own opinion, but I am extremely confident that you will all be proven wrong on this. Time will tell. It's going to take a bit of time for all of this to metastasize, to start to show its true value for COTI. So when you look at those two things lined up next to each other, I don't see why we need key opinion leaders. Yeah. And I would add one third element to it. The people who saw the last AMA with Shahaf, keep his words in mind. We are not interested in the pump and dump. Yeah, we're building this for the long term. So if you're sitting out there cursing and screaming at the ambassadors like Tracer and I on X and telling us why COTI is such a shit investment, do this, sell, go find another investment for your peace of mind, because we're not changing our tack. We're not changing the way we're going to do this. Yeah. If the market decides to pump COTI, we have no influence over that. If the market decides not to pump it, we still have no influence over that. We don't need to sell, COTI doesn't need to sell tokens to build. Everything's under control. We're expanding literally every week with new hires, with new offices, with events all over the world, without selling any tokens. And now that I'm ranting, so I'm just going to get one last piece in. Yeah, none of the new tokens that are minted, and I often hear this comment as well, none of that goes to the team. It all goes to the community, and it goes to the hardware, making sure that we got the hardware to drive what we need to drive. So yeah, rant over. But yeah, key opinion leaders hold no value to me. I met one of them in Bangkok, and sorry, but I was not even remotely impressed.
Oof. Well, that one.
He was, nice guy.
Full douchebag.
Nice guy, but he
full,
honestly, pardon my language, he knew fuck all about COTI.
Oh, Soeren, you just have a way with words, man. You're unbelievable.
Yeah, honestly, he knew about all sorts of other weird things, but no, so no,
Ian?
I'm not into that. I'm not into that at all. But that's just me. So so if there's anyone who has any questions, please put them up in the chat. And whilst Tracer hopefully gets his electricity sorted out, I can do a few questions while we're at it.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, here, fine.
So let me tell you what's going on here because I think it's kind of funny. So every 2 or 3, 5 minutes, you see me jump out, right? It's
Yeah.
because your voice goes full blown Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like I'm not kidding, and so I hope it's not happening for anybody else. But like you look like the voice that you would think the COTI Earn mascot would have. Very, very odd.
That is entirely
What do you
unintentional.
what species do you think that thing is? Species. Species.
I
What
don't
species
know,
do you think that
but
thing is?
can I ask you a question here, seriously? You saw the video
Try.
clip that you saw the video clip that COTI released. Do you know what's the background for that video clip?
Which one are we talking about? Climbing the
Yeah, climbing the mountains and
like
helicopters
the
and shit. Yeah, did you see that?
yes. I don't know what you're getting
Do
at,
you
but
know what it is? Do you know what's the background for this?
oh, there's some satire there. I didn't realize.
No, no satire. This is literally the opening sequence of Mission Impossible 2,
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
done over a week to 10 days by a guy who built it all from scratch. Go check it on LinkedIn. He's there. I stumbled over this the other day. The guy put quite a bit of effort into this, but this is the opening sequence of Mission Impossible 2. So there's a little bit of a tidbit and something for the fudders to get their teeth into.
You're a chipmunk again. I have no idea what you're
Yeah,
saying, but I'm gonna do a screen recording so that I can share this because it's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
right.
And yeah, I'm gonna stop jumping in and out because I'm just like, you know, disturbing the peace here. So um I'll listen. I'm gonna stop talking because
Right. I
I'm
think
destroying the stream.
no problem, mate. I think we have a question from Noah. Unclear how to get points on COTI Earn. Keep COTI in treasury gives daily points. Yes, it does. Deploying liquidity to Privex or deploying liquidity to Carbon gives you daily points. Holding USDC, holding Ethereum, holding Bitcoin in your wallet, in your MetaMask wallet, gives you points. You can take some quizzes, gets you points. You can repost some hashtags and some other stuff on X, gives you points. Whole bunch of things, Noah, that gives you points. We were actually planning, if we hadn't had all these electricity issues, we would actually have gone done a little bit of a walk through the whole platform to show everyone all the different ways you can make points. So, but yes, to answer your questions, definitely staking COTI earns you points. So you essentially add to your APY. Sorry for the question. Is there any way to convince Revolut to offer staking on their platform? I think Revolut can do the same thing as the other exchanges do. I see it quite often on Binance. I don't know if they do it with COTI, but they did it with ADA. I think they do it with COTI as well. They hold a certain amount of the tokens on behalf of their users. They then put them in staking pools or staking operation of some sort, and they pay back some of that yield to their users. So the answer is yes, Revolut could do it, but it'd be up to them, not up to us. So I hope, Danny, I hope that answers your question. No, I'm not throwing out Tracer on purpose. I missed him like anything. Yeah, he's been. You see, the thing is, Canada, they have the longest winters on record. The poor guy is going to literally be covered in frost and snow very soon, and for about, I don't know how, God knows how many months. And he wants to get the maximum out of summer, and I can't blame him. So I wouldn't be sitting here doing podcasts if I could be out enjoying Canada's beautiful nature. No offense, but I wouldn't. Unfortunately, I live in a big city. It looks the same all times a year. No different. Well, I'll tell you this, Eli. Ever since Canada became the 51st state, they've had nothing but issues. Yeah, this is the American way of life that's come to Canada. It didn't take long for you guys to mess that up. Yeah. No electricity. Oh my God. Anyone else have any questions? I can't see how many of you are in the room today, but if you have any questions, please just fire them off. You need Starlink, mate. Yes, you do need Starlink. This is a game changer, buddy. Yeah, we can't have all this nonsense. Trial by fire. Trial by rain, Eli. Trial by rain. Guys, come on, throw me some questions. Otherwise, I'm going to have to come up with stuff. It's much more fun when you ask questions. Right. Okay, let's cover a few things that I get asked about all the time. And I got them again today. So a lot of people are interested in the ECB. And I don't know, 3 days ago, ECB released a press statement selecting 4 or 5 partners for the digital euro. And COTI was not listed. They were not amongst the names that was listed. And everyone went into self-destruct mode. No, COTI is not being selected. COTI is not this. COTI is not that. Guys, chill. What they selected, from what I can see, from what I can understand, are mainly some technology partners for their offline systems. And how do I know? Because I follow the ECB news. 5 days ago, 6 days ago, COTI were invited for a digital euro conference in Italy, which would be a strange thing for the ECB to do if they were going to ditch COTI 2 days later, first of all. Second of all, there was a Q&A with a nice lady from ECB explaining that basically they're going to have their digital euro is going to move on 2 parallel tracks. There's going to be an offline track where everything stays on your device, and there's going to be an online track where, and I'm going to use her words, they're going to use some kind of crypto technology. Now, the bit that we're interested in is I guess we could do the offline as well, but the bit we're interested in is the privacy bit. So unless ECB mentions privacy and somebody who's not COTI, I wouldn't worry. Secondly, we are very much interested in privacy on the online part of what's going to go on there. And I was super encouraged to hear the lady actually say we're using some kind of crypto technology for privacy, specifically for privacy. Why is that encouraging? Because there aren't that many crypto providers for privacy for the digital euro, at least not based on what we can see, the public information. That may not be everything that they have going on. They could easily be things that they're not publicly talking about. But so that was very encouraging. So for all the people thinking that this was a big disaster, guys, you can take it easy. We are committed and working with ECB initially until the end of this year. So no worries about that. The second thing that I've seen a lot of comments on this week was this privacy token pump with SEC pumping, I don't know, 100, 150, 200% in 3 or 4 days. And everyone saying, COTI is missing out because we're not listed as a privacy coin on Binance, blah, blah, blah. You do have a point. We should be listed as a privacy coin on Binance. And I don't know, it may have affected, if this is all algo driven, it could have affected these things. But let me just remind you all that SEC is not a privacy token. It's an anonymity token. It can actually do privacy and anonymity, but people, when they have the two choices, will always use anonymity, which is not legal. And that token and that project is actually restricted in most jurisdictions. Outside of that, all the tokens are held centrally by one wallet, holds about 70 or 72% of the tokens. So it is susceptible to slightly weird pumps. So I thought I'd just give you an answer on that as well. Comment from Ela, Asta was the talk of the town. DeFi pushed by KOLs as real adoption, now it's dumping. Yeah, well, I don't know. My personal opinion, for whatever little that's worth, is if this thing is back to the hilt by CC, it's probably gonna ultimately do very well. I don't see it as being a private perp dex, but then again, I haven't looked at it that closely. So I'm not a trader by heart. So in fact, I'm a horrible trader. So other people may have had a better look and can give us all some advice on how good it is or how bad it is. But clearly, anything backed by CC is more than likely to do very well. The Erskes from Belgium saying Gabel circuits is not an unknown factor for the banks. Very, very true. It's another thing that people very often overlook. Banks have actually used Gabel circuits for the last 30 years. The non-blockchain version of Gabel circuits. Not all banks, but quite a lot of banks are very familiar with the technology. And so, there will be a little bit of name recognition for Gabel circuits in certain areas, and certain bankers will know what we're talking about even before we open our mouth, which is obviously an advantage. And generally, I see a lot of people going crazy about pricing. We're going to miss this, we're going to miss that, and why are we having a mascot, and why are we doing vibe coding? Guys, we are spending a lot of time every week, hopefully, informing everyone what it is we're doing. Yeah, and we're taking great care to explain that we're working on parallel tracks. So there's a retail track. There's an institutional track. There's a bit in the middle, and it's all very well stitched up and everything. So the task for us right now actually is to build it out and to expand it, which sounds like a simple task, but it's actually quite difficult, because if we just went out and hired 20 people in Southeast Asia to run vibe coding workshops, we would run out of developers to service them. Same thing if we hired 10 ambassadors in Europe and America to go out and catch the small and medium-sized Web3 projects. We catch the projects, and we essentially hand them over to the business development guys, which at this moment in time is Brad and Vlad, and they would simply drown if they didn't have help. So we can't just do one without having to do 2 or 3 other things, because there's ripple effects to everything that we do. But we're building, and it's a very clear approach. There's no secrets at all about it. How we're doing it and why we're doing it. Mr. Belonic is asking, is the number of people sharing 12.5 million COTI known? No, it's not. And just to clarify that, so the more people who use the COTI Earn platform, the more token points are being generated. At the end of the season, they'll look at how many token points have been generated. So we got 12.5 million COTI to distribute. And if we happen to generate exactly 12.5 million token points, that means each token point will be worth 1 COTI. If we generate 25 million token points, then each token point will be worth half a COTI. And in terms of who are generating these token points, you can see that there is a list. There's a ranking list on the COTI Earn site. Most of the names look like they're fake. They're actually just system generated, because people haven't put in their own preferred username. You can put in the username and it immediately gets replaced. It immediately replaces the generically created or the computer generated username on the rankings list. It's not fake what's on the rankings list, it's just that the usernames are generated. The TPs that are generated is completely real. And at the end of each season, we will understand how many token points have been generated, and that will be divided into the amount of COTI, which is 12.5 million, and then it'll be distributed accordingly. Noah asking, what do you think of Paddy and the post of Tracer? I'm not sure, Noah, what are you referring to, but Paddy has been blocking all of us, so I'm not sure what he's posting. I don't have much of an idea, other than he's very negative on everything, which is very disappointing. He was a V1 node operator who collected a lot of free COTI for his work. Well, he didn't actually do much work because he couldn't maintain nodes, but he had to have COTI community members help him with that. But yeah, so no, it's very disappointing, but I don't know what he's posting now. He's blocked me and blocked pretty much everyone else, so difficult to keep track of. Kai is asking, what's Asta? Asta is a perp dex, possibly a private perp dex, I'm not sure. But it's a perp dex launched by YZI Labs, which is a Web3 incubator funded by CZ, the founder of Binance. So of course he's been pushing Asta quite heavily and generating a lot of interest for it. I'm not sure how good it is or how bad it is. I have no idea. So that's the answer to that. Yeah, Eli, you're not the only one. We're all blocked. So for those who are not blocked, by all means, be entertained. Be entertained by Mr. Paddy. I personally, he stopped making sense to me a while back, so I don't really worry that much. Eli says build before the breakout. Well, Eli, you're a keen observer of charts amongst other things, so I'll take your word for it. I don't know for sure, but I think we're going to have quite a few very big announcements this month. We are 2 weeks away. I think 2 weeks away from. We're 2 weeks away from the hard fork, which is basically it's gonna do two things. It's gonna give us some technical upgrades to the system. That's gonna make Garble circuits even lighter, even faster. I think it's gonna impact maximum transaction volumes as well. That's one thing. The second thing that the hard fork's gonna do is it's gonna switch on. At least I think it is. I hope it is. That's going to switch on the full complement of privacy tools, which basically means that all the some of the bigger integrations that we've been working on can now start to go on chain. So that's one thing. The second thing is the snap. It might actually. We've been told that we're waiting on MetaMask. It may be that we're also waiting for the hard fork. Not sure. I'm not as technically deep into these things, but we've been consistently told that MetaMask is waiting for them. The snap is waiting for MetaMask, so that's that. And I think there's going to be some drivers. I think actually the biggest drivers are going to be the things we don't even know about. I'm sure both Shahaf and Joshua's got a few things up their sleeve for us, but of course I have no idea what they are and with whom and when they might announce things like that. Eli says, should be interesting when the US government gets the Clarity Act settled. Right now it's still very difficult to use crypto in the US. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, Eli. And they're moving we talked about it earlier today, they're moving very fast on this. The government wants to get it done. It's almost bipartisan. Now, obviously, there's a shutdown and everything else. But I know they want to get it done fast. The institutions are pushing quite hard for it. The SEC are literally week by week making it easier for crypto companies, blockchain companies to operate. So there's a lot of positives to be taken out of the US. And you made an interesting comment today, Eli, to me offline that US, in terms of liquidity, in terms of power and money, US are still driving this train, and I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. And yes, liquidity is waiting on legislation. Liquidity doesn't move unless there's an absolute 120% certainty that it won't get stuck anywhere. Yeah, that's why it's liquidity in the first place. That's why it's so many trillions of it. It moves very smartly. Yeah, I think that's it. So I think that's pretty much it. This was a weird one. I had looked forward to spending an hour in the company of my good friend Tracer. It turned out to be only 10 or 15 minutes before electricity put a stop to that, or lack of electricity put stop to that. But it was enjoyable nevertheless. Thanks everyone for your questions. And I'm sure that I can speak on Tracer's behalf when I say we will see you all next week, same time, same place for COTI Confidential. And in the meantime, stay COTI.
Garbled circuits in a tight knotted twist. Ethereum's heart pumping in the vein. Fastest, lightest like lightning through the brain. MPC whisper secrets in the code. Scaling mountains where no one has strode. Defy wonders bloom in the cyber cloud. Fastest system, light as air. Private roads going everywhere. Building futures in the stream. Layer 2 rides the blockchain dream. AI dances in the quantum glow. Scalable promises let the future show. Transactions flying faster than sight. Silent power in the digital sea. Privacy roaring for you and me. A revolution bound by the key. Garbled circuits set our minds free. Fastest system, light as air. Private roads going everywhere. Building futures in the stream. Layer 2 rides the blockchain dream. Static crackles, mic check on the line. COTI network rising, stars gonna Static crackles, mic check on the line. COTI network rising, stars gonna shine. Princess talk big, but her words are a mime. She's the queen of nothing. It's podcast time. It's podcast time. We're taking the throne. COTI's got the crown. Yeah, we're full blown. Princess in the corner with a busted tone. We're the kings of the mic in a league of our own. Her monologue's weak, it's a snooze parade. Got no substance, just a cheap charade. We're here to dominate, no masquerade. Princess got played by the moves we made. It's podcast time, we're taking the throne. COTI's got the crown, yeah, we're full blown. Princess in the corner with a busted tone. We're the kings of the mic in a league of our own. She's buffering while we're streaming live. Princess fading while we thrive. Every word's a beat, every truth a dive. COTI's cutting edge, sharper than a knife. It's podcast time, we're taking the throne. COTI's got the crown, yeah, we're full blown. Princess in the corner with a busted tone. We're the kings of the mic in a league of our own.
The world is racing to digitize value across borders, protocols, and systems. Open blockchains make this possible, but with openness comes risk. When everything is public by default, everything becomes exploitable by default. Innovation stalls and entire sectors that serve billions of users stay on the sidelines. We've seen the crypto hype cycles come and go while adoption of blockchain for enterprise, government, and institutions has stalled. This is because blockchain has a fundamental infrastructure problem. Privacy wasn't built into public blockchains, and now the cost of exposure is too high to ignore. We know this because we have these conversations every day with enterprises, institutions, and governments from coast to coast and around the world. This is why COTI exists, to solve this problem through on-chain privacy. What comes next? The answer is finally adoption. We are head down building infrastructure for this new era of Privacy 2.0. A new era of blockchain infrastructure where data is protected, logic runs privately, and sensitive data stays protected while usable. Finally, builders, institutions, and ecosystems can responsibly adopt blockchain. Welcome to the new era of Privacy 2.0.
Privacy Privacy 2.0, it draws an intentional line in the sense. So Privacy 1.0 was maybe fully anonymity design. Privacy 2.0, it draws an intentional line in the sense. So Privacy 1.0 was maybe fully anonymity designed to hide things, and the problem is that it's anti-regulatory, incompatible with mainstream adoption, incompatible with the laws of the land, and this is why it was associated with bad actors, crime, and secrecy, even if that wasn't the main reason everybody was using it. You can create content with COTI and be rewarded, and you can build, as I've mentioned, using low code, no code tools and earn COTI again. So essentially, we're using our war chest to encourage folks to grow the COTI ecosystem. You can create content with COTI and be rewarded, and you can build, as I've mentioned, using low code, no code tools and earn COTI again. So essentially, we're using our war chest to encourage folks to grow the COTI ecosystem. So that's one thing. The other thing is that we are kicking off a campaign around privacy on demand. So what is privacy on demand? So we've mentioned COTI's infrastructure and the fact that we've developed our own EZM with privacy on top, very native on top of our chain. But we understand that some folks will always want to stay on a different chain because they've already developed something nice on Solana or Cardano or Ethereum or Sui. So what happens then? So we created products called Privacy on Demand that allows you to stay on your network, but do private computation on top of COTI, right? So you can use our network to do the private stuff on your dApp on top of your network. So we are launching that with a campaign that explains and educates around the importance of privacy and how to build using Privacy on Demand, and we'll reveal a few partners. The other thing that will come probably early Q4 is a node sale. Yeah. We're not thinking about this as a capital event, but more of a way for people to put their hands on valuable licenses. Yeah. These licenses allow you to either run a node yourself or just delegate the right to someone that can run a node. And it's super rewarding from our network. And you can also use your node to build a mini economy based on the COTI tokens where people can stake with you, but they can stake with some leverage or some various locking mechanisms. So you can build an economy on top of your node, and then it becomes very rewarding. So gives access to a lot of folks and another very nice way for people to earn from our network. So that's in the next 6 months or so. Other than that, it's continuous adoption. We're focused on the wallets that had privacy for payments, DeFi, as I've mentioned, AI, as I've mentioned, and real world assets. Whether we are involved with 2 CBDCs right now, one coming from the Bank of Israel, but yeah, the other one is the European Central Bank. They have their own initiative and we're part of it. We're working on another one as well. We're working with various issuers from buy side and sell side too, because they all need privacy and they understand that, and that can come on chain if done right. Another thing which is macro, I think, is that I predict that there will be a privacy summer at some point. What do I mean by privacy summer? We've all seen the DeFi summer, maybe NFT summer. There will be a privacy summer as well because big things and big moves are being done. There's a lot of funds flow towards privacy solutions because this has been the holy grail for many years. There are some big launches happening. Other than the Zama launch will be big, I think. Midnight will be big. And when one is a fluke, two is a trend, and we'll have a few. So I think this will be quite big, and I think a topic that people that try to speculate in this space should take note of, because I think this will be a very big or very important narrative.
Crypto's early days celebrated transparency and open blockchains. It celebrated that all wallets and transactions could be traced and inspected. When every transaction, every address, every move is exposed forever, then it's also exploitable, and that makes us less safe. This is why we launched our privacy campaign aimed at shifting the narrative, educating people that the next era of blockchain can be private by default. We can and should come to expect privacy on-chain as standard. We have launched our new website at COTI.io with the clear message that privacy for all is now possible.
So there's very simple things like, ask the blockchain world why blockchain companies don't pay their staff in USDC on chain. Like, they don't. There's very few blockchain companies that actually do payroll on chain, even though they're blockchain first organization, and it's because of privacy.
Because you don't want your whole P&L on chain.
Exactly. You don't want your whole P&L on chain. You don't want staff to compare salaries, etc. Whether that's right or wrong, that's the reality. And then the other issue, even down to small things like we're here at Token 2049 in Dubai. You get into a taxi and someone sees a blockchain shirt. If you pay for that taxi using your wallet, you don't know if you get wrench attacked afterwards, or they follow you back to your hotel because they know that you have blockchain assets. And so even simple payments like to a taxi driver becomes problematic.
I never thought about the OPSEC issues with that of the hype cycle right now around stablecoins, if it's to be believed, is everybody's going to pay with stablecoins and credit cards are dead, and that we're going overboard with it. But I never thought about how you could have that problem of literally getting in the wrong cab and on-chain activity shows that this is a whale. Like, I know they're staying at this place, it's a problem.
Yeah, this has already started happening around the world. So,
and it's the same wallet that may afterwards, donate to a certain cause that later on becomes very unpopular, or you vote in a DAO decision, and then like, why did you vote that and not that? And it's if this is why we have shower curtains and everything else in life. Transparency is not always the first choice.
Yeah, have you guys seen those videos where it's like someone interviewing a couple and they have them go through their phones like on camera? Like, imagine having all of your on-chain activity like exposed all at once. It's like all the meme coins, all the dumb things that you invested in over the years. It's like,
that's the least of my problems, sir. Obviously.
Yeah, but it is the visceral reaction that people don't think about is like, why does a blockchain need privacy? Imagine your phone suddenly unlocks all of your DMs, every SMS that you sent, and then it becomes very, very clear, why do you need this today?
Goblet circuits were invented to solve this problem. Is imagine a neighborhood, and it's terrible in a sense that everybody wants to know who's the richest guy in the neighborhood. Okay, so imagine LA. Right? But people don't really want to disclose their net worth. They just want a mathematical proof, indisputable proof that this is number one, this is number two, this is number three. So they write their net worth on a note, but they don't really write it. It's a code. Okay, so even if someone finds this note, their net worth is not exposed. And they take all these ciphered notes and they put it in a black box that nobody can see within. And that black box can actually tell you the result is Joshua is the richest guy in the neighborhood. So this is something that goblet circuits can do.
Fully anonymous blockchain is not compliant. It doesn't work with anti-money laundering, zero financing, all of that. It doesn't work, and the rules are not going to change because of crypto. They're not going to change. So you can do completely anonymous transactions. Now, a completely transparent blockchain, the reality is that this is also not compliant because it infringes other rights that people have and duties that institutions have for privacy, like HIPAA, GDPR, etc. So the reality is that you can't do fully transparent, you can't do fully anonymous. So the solution is abiding the regulation. It means that there is such a thing as compliant privacy. It means that whoever by law requires to verify and audit something should be able to do so. And you can actually do that with COTI quite easily. Like in the smart contract, I can decide that this address and that address can actually view the transactions because I'm okay. I'm not trying to hide something illegal. I'm trying to keep my privacy, which is my legal right.
The world is racing to digitize value across borders, protocols, and systems. Open blockchains make this possible, but with openness comes risk. With everything is public by default, everything becomes exploitable by default. Innovation stalls and entire sectors that serves billions of users stay on the sidelines. We've seen the Bitcoin hype cycles come and go, all the while adoption of blockchains for enterprise, government, and institutions has stalled. This is because blockchain has an infrastructure problem. Privacy wasn't built into the public blockchains, and now the cost of exposure is just too high to ignore. We know this because we have these conversations every day with enterprises and institutions and governments around the world. This is why COTI exists, to solve this problem through on-chain privacy. So what comes next? The answer is finally adoption, and this is what we want to do in COTI. We are head down building privacy infrastructure for this new era, for Privacy 2.0, a new era of blockchain infrastructure where data is protected, when logic runs privately in public, when sensitive data stays protected but usable. This is when builders, institutions, and ecosystems can finally and fully adopt blockchain. Welcome to the new era.
Let's keep going. I want an edge investing in crypto. What other altcoins are seeing fundamental progress? But let's just check out an Ethereum Layer 2, the only Ethereum Layer 2 specifically focused on privacy. And we see, like many other coins, price is consolidating. In fact, price right now is 91% from all-time highs. And that's because looking at Ethereum gas fees, the ETH blockchain is still very cheap to use today. Once the masses come back and the ETH blockchain, the layer 1, gets expensive, that is when quality Ethereum layer 2s will take off. I think, again, not financial advice, this is my plan, my strategy. And 1 could be a fluke. 2, it starts to get interesting. And 3, we're starting to see a trend. Here is the founder and CEO of COTI, the Ethereum L2, dropping alpha about a third central bank digital currency in the works for COTI Network The reason the CBDCs are choosing to work with this Ethereum L2, I believe, is because they offer privacy.
Other than that, it's continuous adoption. We're focused on the wallets that had privacy for payments, DeFi, as I've mentioned, AI, as I've mentioned, and real-world assets. Whether we are involved with 2 CBDCs right now, one coming from the Bank of Israel, but yeah, the other one is the European Central Bank. They have their own initiative and we're part of it. We're working on another one as well. We're working with various issuers from buy side and sell side too, because they all need privacy and they understand that, and that can come on chain if done right.
The only Ethereum Layer 2 specifically focused on privacy, and we see, like many other coins, price is consolidating. In fact, price right now is 91% from all-time highs. This is my plan, my strategy. And here is the founder and CEO of COTI, the Ethereum L2, dropping alpha about a third central bank digital currency in the works for COTI Network. The 1 could be a fluke. 2, it starts to get interesting. And 3, we're starting to see a trend.
1 could be a fluke. One could be a fluke. 2, it starts to get interesting. 1 could be a fluke. 3, we starting to see a trend. 1 could be a fluke. Privacy isn't sexy until it is. We on that immaculate razor. 1 could be a fluke. Haters hate, they're stuck in rewind. We on fast forward, we undefined. Why not us? Why not now? Raising rooftops, breaking vows. COTI Army, marching strong. On our vibe, we can't go wrong. Oh, oh, why not us? The stars align. Privacy is sexy and it's all mine. Ebbies are calling 2026, dancing hearts, electric kicks. Every beat's a brand new page where the future center stage. They can't hold us, they can't try. We untamed, reaching the sky. Why not us?